In high-frequency trading, latency is the silent profit killer, but talking about optimizing it is often taboo, filled with complex jargon and proprietary secrets. Today, I'll demystify how you can systematically conquer latency for sub-millisecond execution. Let's start with why this is so critical. In finance, especially algorithmic trading, execution windows are shrinking to microseconds. Network delays, system bottlenecks, or even geographic distance can mean missing a trade by a fraction of a second, costing millions. Generic monitoring tools just aren't built for this. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. They show you data, but they can't tell you what to change or model the trade-offs between different solutions. It's like having a speedometer, but no steering wheel. Professionals are stuck with manual calculations, unable to test scenarios instantly. So, how do we scientifically approach this? The key is moving from monitoring to optimization. You need to understand not just current latency, but all the variables that affect it. Think of it as a multi-layered problem. First, the network layer, the physical path data takes, the hops between servers, the protocol overhead. Then, the system layer, your hardware performance, software stack efficiency, and virtualization delays. CNBL common misconceptions are that buying faster hardware alone fixes everything, or that latency is just about distance. It's a dynamic interplay of factors. OptimizeLatency uses a methodical, data-driven approach. It ingests real-time telemetry from your trading infrastructure, network packet times, server processing logs, exchange feed latencies. It establishes performance baselines under different market conditions. Then, it applies statistical models and simulation engines to calculate the impact of any change. This isn't just averaging numbers. It's identifying the root causes of variance and predicting outcomes. Now, let's talk about what the software specifically does. OptimizeLatency continuously analyzes this ingested data. It correlates events across systems to pinpoint exactly where delays occur. It maintains a complete audit trail for compliance, showing every calculation and assumption. The core power is in scenario modeling. You can ask what-if questions in real time. What if I move my server from New York to Chicago? What if I switch from TCP to UDP? What if I upgrade this specific network card? The software models these changes against historical and live data, giving you a projected latency impact and, crucially, the confidence interval around that projection. It shows you the trade-offs so you can make informed infrastructure investments. Let me walk you through a hypothetical example. Imagine a trading firm executing arbitrage between two futures exchanges. Their current latency is 900 microseconds. They're considering two changes: deploying a new network switch that promises 50 microsecond reduction and co-locating a server in a new data center lane that might save 100 microseconds. But these changes are expensive. With OptimizeLatency, they input these variables. The software simulates the interactions, considering current network congestion patterns and system load. It might reveal that the switch upgrade only yields 20 microseconds under peak load, while the co-location saves 120 but adds jitter. The output is a clear, measurable comparison. Option A reduces average latency to 880 microseconds with high reliability. Option B reduces it to 780 but with higher variance. The firm can now decide based on their risk tolerance. For compliance and reporting, OptimizeLatency automates this. It generates clear, stakeholder-ready reports that explain the technical findings in business terms, linking latency changes to potential execution price improvements. These reports are structured to align with regulatory requirements for system performance documentation, providing transparency for audits. In summary, OptimizeLatency transforms latency from a hidden cost into a manageable asset. It gives you the tools to analyze, model, and optimize continuously, ensuring your trading infrastructure is not just fast but intelligently tuned for maximum profitability.